So I pretty much failed high school. I didn't get into university. I didn't get into anything. I got a score so bad that I couldn't even do an arts degree. I went all the way through year 12. I had ADHD. I still do have ADHD. So I hated studying. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand school. The only thing I enjoyed at school was recess and the music room. Going and playing on the drums in the music room. Like, that's all I liked. I hated learning maths and English and all that crap. Had no interest in it. So I pretty much got terrible scores and all of that. And I was also, addicted to video games. I still kind of am a little bit. It's just less today because, you have more adult things to do, I suppose. So graduation comes. We all do our ATARs, get our exams, and guess what? The minimum to get into university is a 50. Right? Just to get into an arts degree, you need to get a 50 ATAR. And I got, drum roll please, a 49. So I couldn't get into it, even an arts degree, right? I couldn't do anything. So I basically just worked dead end jobs. I was working at Hungry Jack's, which is Burger King here in Australia. And then I got a job at IGA, which is basically a grocery store, and essentially just doing groceries, doing trolley runs and whatnot, helping out on the store, and paid all right. I pretty much did that for like 2 years, and I really had no idea like what I was gonna do. I wasn't even like thinking about it. Like, I honestly wasn't. I was just living, man. And my mum basically gave me two options. She said, you rather go into the army or you get in a trade. And my mum's pretty, she's a pretty savage woman. So I listened to her and I chose a trade. Now I went to TAFE. I did the pre-apprenticeship, which is basically a free course where you can just learn the pre-course stuff of the trade to get yourself like a head start and show your initiative. And I managed to, and during that time you do actually like work placement, so you get put onto jobs with actual like companies. So I did I chose electrician, and you basically get put for like work placement with companies, and you get to go around working for different electrical companies. And man, there's that sort of opens you up to like the reality of what your life's about to be. You meet some of the just most depressing people in the trade, honestly. You meet some of like, and you get put in some of the most heinous, depressing situations, like going to people's houses and having to like crawl through roofs and just the worst of the worst shit. But eventually, after doing the work placement, I actually got offered, like, I would legit be at these companies' workshops. I would be there like before it even started, like 5:30 a.m. They all rock up at 6. And I would walk in there and just fucking find the nearest broom. And I legit would just like walk straight in there, look for a broom. This is the first time I've ever been in the goddamn workshop. Like, it's just some random new workshop in the industrial area that I've literally been dropped off at. Or like, I think I had my car then. No, I would have had my car because I had my license. That I've just literally driven to. Got out, walked in there, don't know any of these people, grab a broom and just start sweeping. Legit, that's what I would do. And eventually one of these places actually took me on as an apprentice, and I was able to work there. And basically in Australia, an apprenticeship is a 4-year paid sort of traineeship, but you have to do 4 years, and it's a combination of TAFE, which is like college, but it's like the lesser version of university, So you did 4 years of TAFE, which is like a mix of that, courses and in-class learning, hands-on stuff, and then mostly working. Like you're actually going out and doing jobs, you know, with the tradesmen. Like you'll be partnering up with the tradesmen and you just go around with them for like your first and second year. And then like second to third year, you might start getting put out on your by yourself. I got started getting put out on like for my own jobs around second or third year, I think it was, maybe third year. But yeah, you don't get paid hardly anything. I legit, my first year apprenticeship, I was paid $7.40 an hour for the whole year. And by the time I was on second year, it bumps up to $9 an hour. By the time I was on my fourth year, I was on $16 an hour. Wow. And you're doing some of the shittest work known to mankind, right? You're literally digging trenches by hand in the middle of summer, just digging a trench through someone's yard to lay a consumer mains in, you know, by hand. Your hands are getting all split open from calluses and stuff. Your boots are just filled with sand. You know, you're inhaling glue, like joining cement, which is like terrible for you, like super carcinogenic. You just inhaling that shit while you're putting it inside the conduit so you can fuse the conduits together for you to protect the cable. And just that's not even the worst of it. Like there's some I've had to do some of these shittest jobs, man. Like, and some of the people, well, all of the people that you have to work with are some of the biggest cunts you'll ever meet in your life. Like, they hate apprentices, right? They hate young kids like myself at the time, rocking up and like just, you know, thinking that shit, even though I didn't. I was literally like the most humble little kid. I just trying to like learn stuff, but like they just, yeah, man, they despise you. So the boss was basically had a mullet down to like halfway down his back. He would come to my work site, right? The kind of bloke that would come to your work site, push you out of the way. He would just push me out of the way, turn the music off, turn our radio off, and just turn to me and like, so what have you fucking done here, Matthew? Like that. Use the full word, the full name, Matthew, like he was my fucking dad. He'd just be like, what have you fucking done here? And he just like say, nah, see this, like, pull this down and do it how I do it like this. And he would just every job you'd go and do, he would come and discriminate, or he'd call you up, but because he tracks all the vans, so you could see where you are if you were still on the job. If you were still on the job, like for like 5-10 minutes after that, what he quoted for, he'd ring you up. Like I was at this job for half an hour to quote it, and he rings me up. Like, what are you still doing there, Matthew? I've only quoted half an hour for you to be at this job. I was just like, well, what do you mean, mate? Like, I'm busy. Like, I'm doing stuff. like, fuck off. Oh man, like, and then yeah, all the tradesmen that you work with. The 2IC, who was the second in charge, he had little man syndrome. His name was Rab, little fella. And he had little man syndrome, like chronic, right? And he would just give me the dirtiest looks, and he would just always be so disappointed with me. And like, he'd like trying to make sure that I know that he's disappointed in me, in my performance and whatnot. And I remember one time there was like three of us, all three apprentices, and we were pulling in cable on the foreshore through a conduit system of pits. And the little man syndrome, 2IC, he was at the other end on the excavator. And how we do it is we run some rope, like we tie the cables on, and we suck a rope through with a vacuum cleaner, and we get the rope out, and we tie it around the track of the excavator, right? So that he can basically just sit in the excavator, and just slowly turn the wheels, which will pull the rope through, and we're at the other end, like a kilometer down the other end, like feeding the cable in with it, like. And eventually, like, he got stuck, and we seen him up there, like down in the pit, like we're just doing something. And he was there for like half an hour, and we were still just standing there with the cable, just like waiting. And he walks all the way up to us. He walks all the way up to us. And he's just like, so what are we doing here, boys? Eh? What are we doing here? You know? And I hear, you can just tell like he's gonna say something. And I fucking said, oh, you should have just given us a call or something. Bang. He's like, Matty, you lucky I don't knock you the fuck out. And I was just like, holy fuck. Everybody else was just like, whoa. And yeah, he went off for a little bit, and then he walked away. And all of us were looking at each other like, fucking hell, man. And then apparently he's spoken to the other boys afterwards, like, oh, I probably went a bit hard on him, didn't I? But I mean, I'm not wrong. Why wouldn't you just call up? You know? Just get on the phone and say, hey guys, can you come on, give us a hand with this? Instead of coming down and acting like a fuckwit. That's just who he is, you know? Kind of bloke he is. And don't even get me started on Shrek, Brenton Warner. This bloke had 4 teeth left. He would drink 6 iced coffees a day, and he would not drink water. He would barely eat. He would never drink water, ever. He lived on iced coffees. He would bring 6 to work, right? And he'd drink 3 in the morning, and then he'd stuff the other 3 under his seat. So he'd be pulling out hot iced coffee out of the seat under his car, putting his little straw in. He does that for some reason. Got my life support, matey. And just start drinking his fucking iced coffees. And if he runs out, you have to go to the shop and get him some more. And he wouldn't give you enough change. He wouldn't give you enough money for it. So you'd have to pay for it. This dude would come to work smelling like dirty laundry. He lived next to a stick house. His missus was a crackhead. Like, these are the kind of people. And he fucking dribbled on me. I was working underneath him once. This, I shit you not, dribbled on me. Because there's a switchboard, big switchboard, and there's like a pit on the ground where all the cables come up into the board so you can power everything. And I was down in the pit, of course. I'm an apprentice, you know, I get all the dog work. I'm down in there, like, covered in like dirt and spider webs and shit, cables. And I just feel shit hit my thing. I look up, and this cunt's got a big fucking strand of saliva just like dangling from his mouth down onto my shoulder. I just get the fuck out of the pit. I get it. And I just walk away and say, I'm not fucking working with you, cunt. And I just go and sit in the crib hut. And yeah, those are the kinds of people that you get to meet and deal with on a daily basis when you do a apprenticeship for a trade in Australia. So that was a good time. And but now, like, on the other side of that, you know, I got my ticket, you know, a long time ago. We're talking 10, 12 years ago, I was qualified as a tradesman. Well, not actually, no, about 7 or 8 years, yeah. And then I moved away from the town that I did that. I moved straight to the big city and started doing work in the mines. I luckily got a job in the mines, and now life's pretty cruisy. Life is very cruisy, you know, the work's easy. Make so much money that I can't believe it, that I get paid what I get paid to do. It's pretty insane. But yeah, no more, you don't have to deal with like fucking shit. It's just good, man. So all in all, just because you didn't get into uni doesn't mean you you know, you're gonna be a deadbeat or a loser or whatever. As long as you apply yourself to something, learn some sort of skill, yeah, you can get ahead in life.